What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. We just lost 4-1 against Liverpool at Anfield in the Premier League, and yeah, it was a horrible game to watch, a very horrible game to watch. And I don't know whether there's any Chelsea fan that disagrees with me. We were useless on the pitch. We didn't have any passion, we didn't have any drive on the pitch. The quality of Liverpool were miles above ours. You could see that some players were trying a little bit, but others were just there, and I don't know, they just accepted that Liverpool were better than us or what. I just don't know. I know there were some other factors too that they didn't help us at all in the game. We'll get to that, but it just seems like overall we didn't try hard enough. I don't know whether it comes from the manager or it's the players, but yeah, it has to change. It really has to change, considering some of the horrible decisions that Pochettino chose to do in this game. I just don't know whether I still want him at the club or not. I've been on the fence for a while now, and I'm moving closer and closer to the fact that I want him gone. But for now, we're going to still trust his process and see. But some of the decisions that he made today was just outrageous. Let's start with the setup in the first place. The false nine setup never works for Chelsea. Then he started playing it and putting Kopama up top. It has never worked. We played against Aston Villa, and Kopama was useless against Aston Villa because there was nothing that he was doing. He was just in the middle waiting for the balls to come in and never came in. I don't know why he decided to do it again against Liverpool. He didn't work against Aston Villa and you're doing it against Liverpool. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know why he did that. Even though Broja is not effective, he at least allows the attackers around him to be effective, because now he becomes a target man that they have to find. And he's able to position himself too well. Even though the goals don't come, he's able to position himself well, and he allows Palmer to roam freely behind him, to affect the game more, to exhibit his skills more, and to be in that playmaker role. But if you put him in the striker role, you nullify everything he has to offer to the game. You just put him in no man's land. Knowing how good he is this season, definitely the defenders are going to block him out of the game, and it's very easy to block a striker out of the game than to block a free roaming player, a number 10 player or playmaker in the game. And they did just that. I don't remember anything of significance that Palmer did in this game at all, and it's not his fault. It's the fault of the manager putting him there and trusting him with that false nine position. It just reminds me of us using Havertz as a striker when Havertz is playing as a striker. Forcing a player to become a striker when you have a striker on the bench makes no sense to me. It absolutely makes no sense. So yeah, that aside, the officiating was horrible today. Portiani, horrible officiating from him, and we knew that this was going to happen. The moment Klopp announced that this was going to be his final season, you knew that everything was going to be in favor of Liverpool, for Liverpool to win the Premier League. And now that we've got the Carabao Cup final, it's going to be another agenda for him to win trophy before he retires or he leaves England. And he said he's not going to coach another English team, so he's going to leave England. But this kind of corruption in the FA just has to stop. It's bias towards Liverpool. It just makes no sense to me. Like today, we had so many fouls that were given in favor of Liverpool that were in our favor, and 2 penalties that were not given at all, and they were not even looked at by VAR. Somebody in the VAR box just told Portiani that it wasn't a penalty, and he also accepted it. The Gallagher one was so obvious. He was brought down by Van Dijk. You can see Van Dijk's hand clearly obstructed him, and his knee also blocked Gallagher from seeding. So you could see that was a clear foul. Portiani was standing there, he didn't give it. He was standing very close to it, he didn't give it. And then the VAR officials just said it wasn't a foul, it wasn't a penalty, and then he just accepted it. They didn't even allow him to go and verify it or have a second look at the monitor. If, for me, going forward, anytime there's a penalty shout, the referee has to go and check. That makes more sense. It's an important decision, so it makes sense for the referee to go and check it and verify whether it's a penalty or not. But they just told him that it wasn't a penalty, and that was it. The same thing with Nkunku in the second half. A penalty shout, a clear penalty. They told him this year that it wasn't a penalty. He didn't go and check. It makes no sense to me, to be honest. Like, this agenda has to stop. It has been there for a while. It has been there for a very long time. Man United, Liverpool, they get favors from the FA most of the times, especially when they're playing against Chelsea. And initially too, they were also planning that we give a minute silence or a minute applause for Klopp. Why? What has he done for Chelsea? What has he done for Chelsea? That I'm happy they didn't go ahead with it. So I respect Klopp, but what has he done for us? It doesn't make any sense for us to clap for him. And then another issue was that our attacking was very, very poor. Our attack was very poor. And it stemmed from the fact that we're playing a false nine. But again, Raheem Sterling and Madueke were not offering much. Madueke, granted, was better than Raheem Sterling, but it was still horrible from the three up top, the three attackers up top. And Raheem Sterling was even worse. I don't know why he stayed on for such a long time. At least Manu Madueke was taken off before the second half. But Sterling stayed on the pitch for a very long time. And he was doing practically the same thing. Gets the ball, dribbles, try to beat a defender. He can't beat the defenders, and then he loses possession. He tries to cut in, takes a shot, blocked, and he kept doing it over and over and over again. It made no sense. The goals came in as a result of bad defending, very, very poor defending. Chilwell in the first half was just poor. He gave the ball away so many times. One of the times that he did that, it led to the goal, the first goal. And then poor defending from Thiago Silva and Badiashile. I don't know what they were doing there when Jota came through. Thiago Silva was the one who tried to clear it, ricocheted off. Jota hit Badiashile, fell back into Jota's path, and Jota placed it on the right side of the pole, beats Petrovic. Petrovic was good on the night, even though he conceded 4, he was good on the night. He was one of our better players on the night. But it still wasn't good enough from the team. And the second goal also came as a result of a mistake from Chilwell. It was Caicedo that lost possession, but Chilwell was miles off his position. He wasn't in his position, and Bradley was in acres of space, but he virtually scored. A very good goal from him to be fair, but it's if Chilwell was there, that goal would not happen, because Chilwell would be in his position to block that pass from going through, or even stop the defender, the Bradley from going through. He was running into position, and I think Nunes tried to pull him down, and he also grabbed Nunes, and when the VAR checked, they said there was nothing in it. It was this kind of decisions that were going against Chelsea. Probably on a different day, that goal wouldn't have been given. Build up to the goal, there was a foul, so they gave it anyway. Went to the halftime, 2-0 down. For the second half, Pochettino made some changes, and taking Chilwell off was a good idea. He wasn't good in the first half, so it was great to take him off and then bring Malo Gusto on. But he took Conor Gallagher off. I don't know why he took Conor Gallagher off. I thought Conor Gallagher should have continued, because he was also one of the better ones in the first half in that three midfield. Our midfield was non-existent, to be honest. Like, Liverpool took control of that midfield, but Gallagher was pushing forward. He was the one that almost won the penalty in the first half, so he was pushing forward. It just made no sense to me that he kept Enzo and Caicedo on, who were both on yellow cards, and then took Gallagher off, who wasn't on a yellow card at all. It didn't make sense to me, but he brought on Nkunku for him, and Nkunku ended up scoring, so it wasn't all bad. And then he changed Noni Madueke and brought on Modric. I mean, granted, Modric, when he comes on, sometimes he performs and he does well for us, but I mean, he came on and then he got a very, very good chance where he could have pulled one back for us and made a scoreline 2-1, but he just skyrocketed the ball. A very, very good chance. That's the issue I have with Modric sometimes. He doesn't take his time. Just take your time, man. You were the only one there. There was no Liverpool defender around you. You were the only one there. Cross came in, and you just take your time. At least control the ball first, and then pick a spot and play it into it, or take the shot. But he just running with full speed, and then you just take the shot and just miss. I don't. He even mishit it. He just skyrocketed the thing, and yeah, that's the problem I have with him sometimes. Like, all pace and no decision making skills, nothing. Like, it's honestly annoying to watch sometimes, frustrating to watch sometimes. But apart from that, he didn't really offer anything much again in the game. I think Madueke in that position would have been better, but he took him off anyway. So yeah, so the second half started and it seemed like we were changing stuff. We were getting the game little by little, but I mean, it didn't last that long. Szoboszlai scored a free header. Actually, he was just there unmarked. Thiago Silva was nowhere near him. Disasi was nowhere near him. But Badiashile was beaten. That's another thing too that Pochettino did. He moved Badiashile to the left back position, a centre back. He moved into the left back position. When he took Benchiro off, Disasi was a right back initially. So Disasi moved into centre back, and then Malo Gusto moved into right back, and then he moved but they're actually out of center back and put him at left back. How? Disasi is the one that I would think that he would move him to left back, or keep Disasi at right back and move Malo Gusto to right back. But you move Badiashile to right back, to left back. It makes no sense to me, and it was evident that because the cross came in from his side. Bradley that crossed the ball, and Soboslai was just there, free header, scored. And the second one too, a cross that came in to Luis Diaz, and I don't know what Badiashile was doing there. I don't know whether that is. He wasn't even in a left back position, but where he was, I thought he could have at least blocked that ball from coming in, or stuck his foot out to stop that ball. But it just went across him and got to Luis Diaz, and Luis Diaz scored. That was just nail in the coffin. But we pulled one back from Nkunku. Good goal from him. There were defenders around him. I didn't expect him to score that, but he managed to dribble and score it. That's the kind of quality we lack up top. I just hope that he's back to full fitness where he can be starting games regularly again. Nicholas Jackson also back, so we'll see going forward. But please don't play Palmer as a false nine anymore. It doesn't work. It never works. Disappointing result, disappointing game, and we are back to 10th. Liverpool are at the top. They've extended their lead by 5 points, and it looks like they're going to win the league, because the FA just going to hand them the cup on a platter. And it's unfair. It's really, really unfair. This kind of favoritism against them, this favoritism towards Liverpool is just so bad. So yeah, that's my review of the game. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and let me know what your thoughts are on this game. Are you as disappointed as I am? Let me know if there's some things that I missed out from the game. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. So until then, stay safe.